KevyKev, and hey, it is that time of the year, y'all. We are so excited as always to be with you. It's that time of the year because school is started, all right? It means the kids, everybody is headed back to school. It's that time of the year. It also means it's time for some boxing. So on today's show, we're going to get a chance to talk about just a tremendous event coming up in boxing, in amateur boxing. It is STL versus Everybody Force, the Elite Amateur Boxing Showcase. 22, count them, 22 big bouts. Fights are going to take place on Saturday, August the 26th. It's going to be at the St. Charles Boys and Girls Club, the Boys and Girls Club of St. Charles, and that's going to take place. And we have some of the young fighters that are preparing, getting ready for that, and also the promoter and also trainer in the studio with us. Glad to have him joining us, Jerron Sutton. Jerron, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing, brother?
Doing just fantastic, and I know you are really excited about this event because we were just talking about how St. Louis has a rich history of boxing, but it seems like in recent years we just haven't been seeing enough.
Yes, sir. We need to bring the heat back, with our very rich history. We need to have things to be explained and, bring some action with these fights. We got a lot of guys coming up now who's making noise in the pro game. We having a little shaky situation, but we already had these guys turn up and do something different.
Yeah, and you, with the title, the name of this event, the STL versus Everybody, you're bringing in fighters from all over the country for this event.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we like to have a different mixture of fighters, come in, because St. Louis, we always go against St. Louis. But, it ain't nothing like having something different come in, and show them like why we actually have a rich history of boxing, because we, can fight each other and to make it out the city. One guy might have a lucky night that night, but, we got guys here that can do what they do. We got some good fighters here, so bring them here and let them show their talent.
And I know you are especially happy because you have, first of all, you're covering all of the weight classes, but it's unique and special because your son is going to be boxing in this showcase, and your son is a featherweight. That is Jerron Sutton. He's sitting right here. And Jerron, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good. I know you're excited about this. Looking forward to your competition.
Yes, sir.
Man, and I was talking to your dad, and he was telling me you're 16 now, right?
No, I'm 19.
I'm sorry, you're 19 now. I'm sorry, you're 19. He got me corrected. I'm sorry, Jerron. He should because I know he's headed toward turning pro here, but he's 19. But he's coming up. He's already had over 100 fights.
Yes, sir.
And and I understand you started when you were like about 9 years old.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What was it about boxing? You just wanted to get in there and just go.
At first, I used to like football a lot, and I still do. My love of football is like crazy. I can watch football more than I watch boxing. So, but it was the Manny Pacquiao fight. It's the same thing. I'm pretty sure he's fighting Ricky Hatton. He knocked Ricky Hatton out. I jumped up. I said, "That's what I want to do." My dad took me up. It was a gym at the top of our football field, so he took me up there, and they told me that they didn't accept kids. So we went and we started doing our own thing, and eventually we found a gym and a coach that accepted us, and we started since ever since then.
Man, the history started there, and we should also say too that you also have Jerron DeShields here, Jerron, and that's one of your also young fighters that you're training right now. He won't be boxing in this event, but you're training him right now.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we're bringing a new face to the game. Starting a new team. So
okay.
And show Sadie what we're about.
And, the protege.
A protege, right. Jerron, now you are 16. You really are 16.
Yeah, I'm 16.
And so you're excited, I'm sure, watching Jerron box and being trained by Jerron. It's got to really have had a strong influence on you.
Yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah. Try to motivate him, keep him going.
Keep him going.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So now, Jerron, you yourself, now you're promoting this again. Again, it's the STL versus Everybody 4 Elite Amateur Boxing Showcase. 22 bouts, you all. That's 22 big fights going to take place at the Boys and Girls Club of St. Charles on the 26th of August. Big event coming up here. But Jerron, talking about you were a fighter yourself coming up. You were at Vashon High School, and you came up under some big names. I know you came under Kevin Cunningham and some others that trained you and put you where you enjoyed the sport, and now training your son.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Then it started out, like I said, Ricky Lane, you know, and then eventually adapted over to Kevin. Kind of did some work over there with him, and I say just the love for sports, you know, me having it all the way around just kind of got me to, you know, working out with my son. So I, you know, translate everything that I learned from him, and, you know, wrestling, boxing, you know, they all kind of go the same because you're using your full body with it, and little karate. So it makes the martial arts, and hey, you put them together, you get you a dominant fighter.
And let me ask you this too. You know, like you said, you were talking about St. Louis and how we have this history, but we just haven't. What's going on? Why we just maybe haven't been seeing as much of our fighters, and even at the Olympic level, right, where we were before. Of course, we know all about the Spinks brothers, of course, and what they did in the Olympics, but we just haven't really seen that in recent years, have we?
Yes, sir. It's more of we need to come together, know, in the city collectively. You know what I mean, and let people know that the sport is still being appreciated. And I mean, like a lot of these guys who are, these guys that are training together as pro, you know, these guys don't fight in the same weight class. These guys are on a whole nother scale. So basically, you all should be working together as a team, you know, pushing each other to the limit, getting stretch and conditioning coaches together, you know, strengthening, doing some things, and bring a different level and start going city to city, start traveling. You know what I mean? We got Ohio, we got Kentucky, we got Iowa, we got places that got boxing in their city. Why shouldn't you guys be jumping in the van together, going to go see these cities? Because that's what Michael and them used to do back in the day. They'd go travel to go see different work and, you know, get that experience. And then, you know, back then it was a lot more people boxing than it is now. It's like I say, with the sport dying off, they want to get more into football and stuff like that. But we just need to bring more kids into the program, and I think that'll be a great fit. You know, once you start bringing more kids, you can actually grow the sport because everybody needs something to do.
Absolutely, and you were telling me that you have been receiving some excellent support from some great names like Devin Alexander, Harold Petty. You said they've been right in your corner supporting you, getting your son and others prepared.
Yes, sir. And, you know, just keeping them guys like that in your ear, you know, and they giving you positive, you know, insights on stuff. I give Brian Shaw, you know, Ryan Harris and all the other guys they credit because, you know, honestly, I look at like boxing like a village. We got to take care of these kids. And if you get everybody working with these kids, you know, instead of just one fighter, one coach, and, you know, I know this with everybody see on TV, they fighting their coach, but everybody can bring something to a fighter, you know, some different things, and you can take it and learn it for yourself and use it your own way. And that's what a lot of these guys need to learn. Like, you know, I know your coach, that's your guy, that's who you trust, stuff like that, but sometimes other people's opinion kind of matters. So,
all right, well, Jerron, you are a featherweight. You're getting ready. You're in the 132 class. That's correct.
Yes, sir.
You're getting ready. Now, I know you don't know who you're going to box in the showcase here, but just kind of for those maybe who haven't had an opportunity to see you box, well, what do they get when they come watch a Jerron Sutton fight? What are they going to see?
You gonna see some real fast hands, good footwork, great footwork, action.
Fast hands and good footwork.
Yes,
excellent defense. I love to shuffle around like Ali a little.
It's
describe it.
It's really exciting.
Specific.
Let me ask you this, you know, because I'm an old guy, old schooler. I don't see a lot of young fighters like yourself, and even before you, why don't we see guys maybe kind of do the dancing and the moving around too much? Guys just like to kind of slug it out, seem like, in the ring, right? Tell me from a young fighter, what's going on with that?
I don't think they understand like what they actually do. Like, it's harder to hit a fighter that, you know, constantly moving, and it's harder to hit anything that's constantly moving. So like that Ali shuffle, it's just, I don't know, maybe they scared of how they look doing it, but shoot, it worked for like a charm with me.
Okay, so Jerron, is that your style? I know you watch Jerron a lot.
I love watching
you
Jerron.
move like that too?
Yeah, I be trying to. Yeah, I be watching them. Yeah, for sure. It's hard.
It's hard, yeah. So, Coach, I mean, I know, and let me ask you this: how tough is it to coach your own son? How tough Is it tough? Maybe I don't want to be putting words in your mouth.
Right.
You tell me.
Yeah, it's very tough. I mean, at first the emotions in it because that's your kid. You don't want to see your baby get beat on. But, you know, it becomes when you see he adapts a style to kind of keep him from getting hit as much, it goes from that sitting on the edge of your seat to sit back like, all right.
He's got this.
I'm at the point now, you can give me a bag of popcorn, I'm chilling in the corner.
Definitely you get him to a point. Oh, yeah, he gonna beat you.
Well, this STL versus everybody. This is a big fight for Jerron because he wants to win this and then move on to in December. He's going to be trying to get trials in September, December to get ready to make it to the Olympic team, right? Tell everybody about that process before we wrap things up here.
September 9th, we go out to Colorado. We try to get on the Olympic team trials, or it's the trials, and then we have the national qualifier in December. So pretty much, you know, he got to win first or second spot. I mean, to get in this spot to be on the Olympic team. So you get on the Olympic team, you get a chance to travel around the world to kind of see some, you know, different competition. But then they got the games going on, I want to say like June, July, and he'll be a part of that team if he makes that in December. So,
well, ladies and gentlemen, you want to keep on the lookout. Then remember the name, Jerron Sutton. St. Louis hope to get to the Olympics. All right, that's it. We put it out there. And again, it's STL versus everybody. It's going to be on the 26th of August. It's going to be at the Boys and Girls Club of St. Charles. So how can people get tickets? How can they participate, Jerron, and get to this event?
The St. Louis versus everybody on eventbrite.com. You can get in contact with us through social media, through Box Culture Midwest, either on Instagram or Facebook, and you can pretty much go from there. Or you can get tickets at the door.
Okay.
We also have VIP tables, $350. You know, and if you guys are looking for sponsors, got a $500 table if you guys want to participate for that.
All right. Well, we thank you so much for coming by, and Jerron, we watching. We got the radar on you to keep watching you, and you are hoping definitely, and right behind a few years, Jerron, same with you too. Thank you all so much for coming through, and again, STL versus everybody, 22 exciting championship bouts. St. Louis, y'all, putting it all out there in the ring. It's going to be the best in the city going ahead against the best in the rest of the country, okay? Don't miss it on the 26th. And, again, you can check it out. And there's a phone number to call, too, at 314-893-1315. And also, you can, as Jerron said, you can get tickets at the door. Thank y'all so much for coming by today.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Appreciate y'all. All right, stand by, y'all. We celebrating 50 years of hip-hop, and coming up, we're going to get a chance to talk to the one and only Cool Odie. That's right. We're going to get a chance to talk to him about hip-hop and the whole St. Louis history and culture. That's coming up on the Community Corner with KevyKev. It's Community Corner with KevyKev, and again, big shout-out to Jerron Sutton and, of course, the Elite Amateur Boxing Showcase. That's going to be a huge event coming up with the STL versus everybody. And as we continue on, I'm so happy now to have joining us in the studio. He doesn't like me to say it, but it's the truth. It's what it is. He's a legend, man. And we're in this point of we're celebrating 50 years of hip hop. So you can't celebrate 50 years of hip hop, and especially talking about the hip hop culture in St. Louis, without having Cool Odie on the show. And of course, he started back with mixing and DJing, and then he began his career as a MC, as a rapper. And now these days, you'll find him producing music. He's working with gospel artists. He's just kind of doing it all. Man, I tell you, it's an honor to have you on the show. How you doing, O?
I'm doing fantastic, brother. How about you?
Man, if I'm sitting down with you, it's all good.
All right, likewise. It's an honor to be here, man, for real. When you was talking, I was sitting there going, Community Corner.
right. Yeah, see, man, and I just went through this with DJ Cut too, man. I had a chance to be with him and one of your boys as well. CHUBB ROCK, was in town to do the 50-year hip hop celebration. But you guys, y'all all humble like that. Tossing Ted's another one. You guys, y'all don't like to take a lot of credit, but CHUBB ROCK said it himself. He said, man, if it wasn't for the DJs like you, and you even talked about it during the break about playing CHUBB ROCK album cuts.
Yeah,
y'all
absolutely.
Set it off,
so
man.
look, as y'all was talking about Chubb, I said, you know what, man, I'm gonna have to reach out because I missed him while he was here. I said, man, I was the first person playing his stuff like in the streets and on the radio mix shows. And I'm not talking about you treat them right and all that. I'm talking about he had a song called The Grammys and Rock and Roll Dude. No, I'm like, man, I was playing the stuff that wasn't nobody else playing because I'm like, this dude is nice.
See, you see what I'm saying? And you know what? As we continue this journey to celebrate, last week we had one of your other icons with yourself, the original Godfather, Larry Shepard was here.
That's my mentor. That's my mentor. Yes,
so this thing goes like that. But man, let's face it, when all those guys, if you go back to Captain G and Ted and Love, and you mentioned Godfather, you was kind of the new kid on the block.
Yes, I was the bad little brother, being allowed into the lounges and the nightclubs way too early, and all that. When you should have been in bed getting ready for school, I was out spinning where I shouldn't have been. Yeah. So
and I have to ask you, how did you get into it? How'd your mom let you get out to go do that?
I was fortunate. I tell people all the time, my upbringing wasn't normal. I was the little homie probably till I was 18, give or take, 17, 18. So everybody that I came up with was at least 5 to 10 years older than me. And this was obviously that time when we didn't have hoods, we had communities, we had neighborhoods and communities. So I'm saying that to say, because my mother knew everybody and everybody knew, first off, the whole block knew each other, the whole neighborhood knew each other. We all walked to school and so on and so forth. But again, my mother knew all my homies, and she felt safe because everybody was the big homie for me.
Right.
They wasn't gonna let nothing happen to me.
Right.
And when they started doing stuff that wasn't for me, they were saying, "Hey man, you can't be a part of
you
this."
You can't come to this one, right?
Go on in the house.
Yep.
That's it. And I have to say, when I started in radio, I came under I was able. Captain G left, went to L.A., and that's how I got in there to do nice. But he had his proteges.
Absolutely.
And you were you was like one of his young secret weapons.
Again, G. If there's a such thing as being humorously devious, that was G. Because like I said, I'd say for the past 25 years easily, I've been the big homie for a lot of artists. Mm-hmm. And what I say all the time was, I wish I had a me, because you shouldn't give somebody 18 years old the keys to the mansion. Yeah. And that's pretty much what it was. You know what I'm saying? Like I went to school, straight out of high school, went to school in Alabama, and I told my mom, like, Mama, I don't really I don't think I need to be here. I kind of think all the opportunities are back there kind of just waiting for me in St. Louis. So she let me come on back, and immediately it was right onto the radio, right into the clubs, and I didn't have anybody. Go again, except for my best friend, big homie, who's now deceased. I didn't really have anybody to temper me and control me. You know what I'm saying? So you take is it Jerron? Jerron. You take Jerron and just throw him on the radio right now, and then all of a sudden everybody know him, and this, and this is pre-internet. Right. Keep this in mind. Right. And oh man, I was in control, but out of control. And G got a kick out of it, Instead of saying, "Come on, man, hey, take a look at the environment," this is man, please. I was just running wild.
They let you get loose, huh?
Yeah.
And we were talking about the Animal House the other day, and about all those great rap acts that were coming to town, from the Run DMCs, the Salt and Peppers, all these, the LL Cool J's. You were there. You were there with Daryl, the DJ.
Absolutely.
One rough DJ, all that.
I've talked to, exactly. I've talked to Daryl in the last couple of weeks. As a matter of fact, the day before the CHUBB ROCK event, because these lists have been coming out this year, in honor of the 50th year, and so people did their St. Louis versions. And it's so funny that you started off by saying, "Hey, you can't talk about St. Louis hip hop without talking about this guy," because they absolutely did. But that's okay. That's okay. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait till about November, December, and I'm gonna address all this and tell the truth and get some things right. And I bring that up because Daryl was excluded, and I've talked to him about. I'm like, man, how y'all somebody put a list of St. Louis top 10 all-time DJs together, and they excluded Daryl. And, you know, he didn't even know about the list, and I didn't call him to upset him, but I'm saying, wait a minute, if we're doing this right, you got to be on there. You know what I mean? You held down the spot that everybody wanted to be. Man, like you said, the Animal House was absolutely historic. There was nothing like it, and there will very possibly never be anything like it again. That you can't find a spot that weekly cram 2,000 plus teenagers in there every weekend, and one night it's a different color, and the second night it's a different color. But they was packed every night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was crazy, man. And like you said, every popular to semi-popular act during that time made it there, and they was telling other like Chan DJs for DMC, and DMC hates that they never got to do the Animal House. Man, everybody who came, whether it was Salt and Pepper, Rakim, Mantronics, so many, Heavy D, Dougie Fresh, the list goes on and on. They would tell people, LL Cool J, they would tell people, and they say, oh, y'all got to see this place in St. Louis. Was nothing like it. Easy E, everybody performed there.
Yeah, that was incredible.
Everybody,
and it was just teenagers that was their place.
Yeah.
Jerron might have been there for some of those concerts. I don't know.
And my cousin, I watched them get ready. So
and you can see them all for $15 or less. That's the crazy thing.
Right.
UTFO, Houdini, everybody. Everybody did Animal House.
That's it. And like you say, that's all part of that rich history of St. Louis hip hop. And like you say, you can't leave out One Rough DJ, and you start hearing about Charlie Chan and yourself, and the list just goes on.
Yes,
there,
sir.
man.
Yes, sir.
You did all the DJing and things, and leaving college in Alabama to come back here. Next thing you know, you had launched your hip hop career with you and Silk Smooth, and y'all began to climb up the Billboard charts.
Yeah, and that was an experience. That's the only way I can describe that, and it was a learning experience. If you're observant and you keep your head on a swivel and you understand. I guess I was always that person who, when the opportunity presented itself, let's try to turn this into something else. I've seen enough situations in entertainment, whether it was music or comedy. I've seen enough situations go wrong. That while we was, even though you recording this album and everybody telling you, oh, you so great, and it's gonna be this, that, and the other, and the record company is gonna, I'm sitting there thinking, man, we need to get something else going, just in case something goes wrong. So the whole time we on the road, I'm still trying to politic stuff and all that. Like, yeah, I mean,
let's face it, you was very young while all this stuff was going on.
Yes,
you
sir.
on the
Yes,
and I'm sure you probably had people telling you, and so y'all gonna be the next everything,
man,
right?
When you're dealing with major labels back then, of course they gonna gas you up to tell you you the greatest thing since water, So, but again, being a DJ and tied to a record pool, it is
right.
You get I don't know how many records. Back when we were getting vinyl, you get I don't know how many records that sound nice to you, that never make any noise. So you understand, like I said, if you're thinking, if you're focusing, you understand that this might not go the way I want it to. So you try to do the best you can, man.
Well, I would say this about you too. I mean, it started for you as a rapper, but I'll be honest, as a radio DJ, we knew about you on the ones and twos. So when Silk Smooth starts making hits, and it's like, wait a minute, that's Odie on the track rapping, and sounding good,
Man, the funny thing, I think I told you before that was an accident. Like, obviously I came on as his DJ, and the Trick with a Good Rap joint was originally intended for Boss, who didn't like it. She didn't. We gave it an instrumental. You know what I mean? She just went, and the instrumental had the sample in there, so it kind of, it guided you, gave you some direction of where you can go, versus just giving somebody a track and saying write to this. She wasn't feeling it at all. And we knew, like, yo, this is what's missing from Silk's album. So we just he go in there and he wrote 2 verses and he didn't have a 3rd verse, and I'm just sitting there, and they knew that I could rhyme because I had been helping write some of Boss's stuff, and just play around. So they like, you want to be on it and trip off this. This is how genuine this story is. The album version, my voice is hoarse. It was just like, dude, just go say something. Okay. So that's the album version. You know what I'm saying? Right. And then we turned around and did that remix. So yeah, it was, and even then, circumstances. That's how AMG ended up being on the song. It was more so circumstance. They wanted a 3rd verse. Silk didn't have a 3rd verse. AMG, just go get on the song. There we go. And a whole lot of that stuff was just, it wasn't thrown together, but around that particular song, a lot of it was just close your eyes and throw something in the hat and see if it sticks or whatever, And
it happened. And I should also say that, as far as I know, Tupac performed one time in St. Louis,
yes,
and I know you were very much a part of that. Tell everybody that story about that.
Oh, my God. That is, if there's a night you don't want to remember. In fact, I'm not even going, I'm going to focus more on the good.
You make it radio playable here.
No, you know me, I'm going to keep it clean. No, I'm just saying, I will say, in the night, not even the 90s, it was a period. St. Louis have a tendency for testing people. That's really what it is. Again, when we go back to the Animal House, like, and I'm gonna come forward to the Tupac situation. But if you was whack, talking about out of town acts, oh man, they'd throw batteries at you, and you're like, where did people get batteries from in the club? You know what I'm saying? Like, real talk. What was it? DJ Cheese. Wait a minute. No. We gonna get the quick. DJ Cheese and I can't remember his rapper's name. I feel so bad, but they had the song King Cut. They caught the batteries. Mantronics caught the batteries. What's up? Wow. You could not hit the stage. People done paid their money. You could not hit the stage and give a horrible performance because St. Louis was just going. They was gonna test you. Run DMC's very first time here in St. Louis was at the Victory Center.
Okay.
And I'm just finding this out. I think it was in 21 that never knew why Run didn't come out. Jam Master Jay came out and did his thing, but I guess the promoter didn't have his money. No, people was ready. People was ready to do what St. Louis does. So coming back forward to Tupac, I don't know how this happened. In fact, this was the debut of the Trick with a Good Rap single. Yeah. Still got the original cover. It doesn't have our pictures on it. It's just it was Valentine's Day. In fact, that's the day of the concert. It was Valentine's Day. The cover has a heart on it. Says Silk Smooth Trick with a Good Rap. We got a picture with Tupac holding it and all that. Okay, so now get to the show. Something happens. I don't know what he said, but it was something that shouldn't have been said in St. Louis. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They rush the stage, and St. Louis does what St. Louis does. It's not something to be proud about. I'm just, I'm
gonna tell you, I left. I got out of there.
Yeah. Man, like he said, DJ Quick, who loves St. Louis, but you gotta be careful. Then and now, I just think back then people was looking for any. He said what? Right. He said, "Well, oh, okay." It was just like that, man. We can. Oh my God, the Bone Thugs and Harmony concert. Oh my, now that to me that was another one of them. You better not be whack, because dude, that was so boring. They was so boring. The music was great, and I tell people all the time, I don't go to it. I'm very picky about live shows. I feel like, as when you go to someone's live show, your job is to be entertaining. I don't care how street you are, or whatever the case. People pay to see you, or even if they come out to see you free, your job is to entertain. So you know what I mean? So if your live show is not good, which in the case of Bone Thugs and Harmony, that was the case, man, people started fighting, I think, just because the show was boring. The show was born. They started fighting and then they rushed the stage. You talking about the one in Normandy, right? Oh yeah. Oh man.
I remember that.
Yes,
they came
sir.
to the station with about 30, 40 guys. That's how they used to roll like that.
You cannot. You know. It's not just about St. Louis. You have to, again, as a performer, your job at that point when you hit the stage, I think everybody looking to perform should watch other people's shows. You know, look for somebody that's entertaining so you know what to do and what not to do when you hit the stage. You know what I mean? Man, you know we can see some bad performances.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, that's why I said I just have you relive a few things like that. But
yeah, St. Louis will test you, and that was the case in the 80s, early 90s, man.
Yeah, it was a lot of testing going on. And then later on, I know you hit the road. You were in places with Pac and some of the others doing shows. You guys had a place y'all actually was staying, right? MC Breed,
right? So Breed had a house in Atlanta, Flint, Michigan, and Atlanta. And in his house, Tupac stayed there, DOC stayed there, and we were all staying there during the time that they were shooting the "Gotta Get Mine" video, and my partner Lando, who was also part of the Silk Smooth stage show.
Absolutely.
Shout out to Lando. I'll make sure you get to hear this. Lando, Breed is previewing his new album, of which DOC did some of the writing to, and you know Pac is on there just talking and screaming in it on some songs in addition to rapping. And so Land is fanning out because he's like, "Yo, man, you know DOC too, and da-da-da-da, you know, Breed is cool." He like, "Yeah, you know him and this and that." He didn't tell him he stayed there. So, this happened, like I'm not making this up. This happened verbatim on the spot. Lando is saying, "Man, DOC is my favorite artist. That's who I model everything after, da-da-da-da-da-da-da." And he comes walking in the house. And Land just lost it. He absolutely, I can't even say, like you said, keep it. He lost it, dog. He lost it.
He lost it.
He lost it. I don't want to say he turned into a little girl because that's wrong.
Yeah,
but he lost it. He lost it, dog.
Wow.
My
And, you know, we have fun about that to this day. Man. He's like, dude, you know who you are.
You know who you are.
He lost it, dog.
So, man, I know we wrapping things up here.
Yes, sir.
But man, you've been a big part of this hip hop in St. Louis, 50 years, man. What as you look back at it, man, what do you kind of take from now? Now that you've had a chance to kind of reflect, look back at things, those experiences, all those artists, what does Cool Odie kind of take from that today?
What I miss, I'll tell you what I take. I wish everyone could experience the feeling of the first decade when it was new. When it all was new and we were just experimenting, trying to figure our way and just having fun, because it was that's what the whole first decade was like. You know, it doesn't matter what market you were in, they were really experimenting, just trying to figure it out. You know, and I wish young people could know that feeling of fun. You know what I mean? That like for a lot of people, for a lot of artists now, the fun is gone. The beginning is still the same. Like you hear it and you go, "Oh, I can do that. I can either emulate what I'm hearing or I'm better than that." It just, you know, it goes one of two ways, but they're never, because you're born into it now. It's there when you arrive. That's much different than when you have lived a decade or two before it even existed and you see it molding in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, big shout out to BJ the DJ, who's also, as we said before, too, back with Larry Shep, part of that history.
Yep, he's one of them throwback mixers. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So you know,
I had a partner who was so jealous of you, man. Oh my God. Did you go? You went to Beaumont, right? Yeah. Oh man, one of my partners, he was, rest in peace. He used to, "Man, I'm better than that dude. I can teach this." Hey man, I don't know what to tell you. You know what I'm saying? "Man, I can DJ as good as him." Okay, all right. And he carried it with him like the whole time. Like, okay, man. And I can, you know.
Oh man, that is great. Listen, man, you know, you're gonna have to come back. I know we're about to run out of time, but Let everybody know what Cool Odie is up to. Like I said, I know you're doing work in the gospel world too now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I the latter 2010s, if you will, I touched a few different artists, just kind of tinkering around with different things. On the R&B side, tried that for a minute and rode the roller coaster, some ups and downs dealing with that. Took a break, and one of the brothers who I had been dealing with since the early 2000s, who was actually just doing regular hip hop, he came to me probably 2010, give or take 2010, 2013, somewhere in there, and was like, hey man, how would you feel if I started doing gospel? You mean, first off, you my dude. I know your talent. You know what I mean? I know if you say it, you can do it. So I was all supportive. And turns out the brother had a gift. He comes from a gospel background anyway. So it seemed to come more natural to him than the hip hop. And so it's been a blessing along the journey to see his transition, you know what I mean, and enjoy his music and so forth. Okay. He was recently, I don't want to use the wrong terminology. I want to say anointed the pastor at his church. He's giving us the come on, buddy, wrap it up. Come on now.
Yeah.
So brother artist, his name is Gabriel. His website is www.gabrielmusic.com. I don't know if I'm supposed to do that, but I just did. It'll be taken out if I can. But yeah, it's been a joy. It's been a joy, man.
All right. Well, I know we are out of time, and I done got the wrap up too as well. So that's okay. We'll get through this. Man, thank you so much for taking time out, Cool Old man. We're gonna get you back on again, and of course Jerron too with all the great things he's doing with boxing, and that's terrific too. All right, we're gonna wrap things up though and come back. Thanks to you, man. Appreciate you so much, man.
Always, Kev. I love you, bro.
Appreciate you too, man. You know it. All right, this is the Community Corner with KevyKev. It's the Community Corner with KevyKev. Hey, big shout out to Cool Odie, man. It was great having O in the house and just reliving hip hop in St. Louis. He truly was part of that. And in light of that, too, as we continue on with this 50 years of celebration of hip hop, and of course the St. Louis part of that as well, we recently had an opportunity to talk with rapper CHUBB ROCK, who O mentioned in the interview, of course, about him playing the music of Chubb's back in the early days, the album cuts. Well, CHUBB was in St. Louis to celebrate 50 years, and here's a look back at that interview with CHUBB ROCK. We got one of the Hall of Famers here, folks. Y'all know him. That's right, CHUBB ROCK in the house here in St. Louis. CHUBB, how you doing, man? St. Louis just loving you, man. You just performed an outstanding concert tonight.
Man, I appreciate it, Kev. You're an icon in this city, man. So, you know, when you say it, then I feel good about it. You know, got a chance to see my old friend DJ Cut.
Yes, sir.
And man, we had a great time. It was a high school reunion.
Yes, sir.
Everybody there was either turning 50 or turning 51, same time as hip hop, on the same day as hip hop, and it's just a beautiful thing.
Truly was beautiful, CHUBB. I mean, you went back. You gave us all that classic hip hop. You took time out to pay tribute to some special ones who were in the hip hop culture, in the game, like you were no longer with us.
Without question. I mean, you know, we were all just like little kids, you know, growing up in this thing, and we all experienced a lot of our firsts in this hip hop thing. First time being away from our boroughs, you know, going on the road and, you know, being away from your family, performing and stuff like that. And, you know, we just had a friendship and everything. And, you know, COVID was real rough on the hip hop legends. You know, we lost like 9. I think the total is 9 right during COVID. Like, and it just blew my mind, man. Like, I just couldn't believe it. And, you know, so me and my brother, we try to give a little tribute to them. You know, again, friends for a long time, you know, over 35 years. So it's sad. It's great to see people react to the songs, but it always hits me every time.
Absolutely, CHUBB. And like you said, celebrating 50 years, you talked about UTFO, you talked about Houdini. You know, you gave us that history. Just kind of tell everybody about that history that you have with those two great groups and getting your start.
Yeah, because we're from Brooklyn, right? So my cousin Howie T, he was like, we're from Flatbush, so you know, he was like the neighborhood DJ, and he was so popular. He had a group called CD3 with a song called Get Tough. But then he went on to be this incredible producer, right? So before he even got to me, he helped with UTFO, Roxanne. Him and Kango and Doc Ice were real close friends, an educated rapper, Mixmaster Ice. So I came from under them. And of course, UTFO, Doc, and Kango, before they made records, they were the dancers for Houdini. So that's how we're all connected. You know, we came in because of Fat Boys, that's Brooklyn, Houdini, Brooklyn, Divine Sound, which is Brooklyn, and of course UTFO, CD3. So that's how I came in. It was Howie that, my cousin, obviously, first cousin, but he's the one who brought me in with Doc Ice and my boy Domino, who used to be in a group with Howie, Short Shot 4. So everything is connected. So that's how we really kind of came in. Me and my brother went to go see a rap show one night, and then it blew our minds, and then everything went on from there.
Absolutely. You gave us, we're celebrating 50 years, I'll say it again, but you gave us a history lesson. You talked about your start, like we just said, with UTFO and everything, but it was just great because you gave the message. You said, hey, everyone, tell your kids about hip hop, because if you don't, it'll go away and it'll be where it won't be considered ours.
You know, it's interesting because if Chuck Berry was here right now, he would be upset. He would say, wait a second, rock and roll is who?
Yeah.
You know, because when they start talking about rock and roll, they start talking about Elvis Presley and all these other kind of people. And, you know, rock and roll is our music, you know, and look what happened there, you know. So it just gets really, really tricky if you don't really pass it on from generation to generation, that this was a genre created by young black people, men and women, in the hoods of all cities, you know. Of course, you have New York, but in all cities. Just like the rich history of hip-hop in St. Louis, the rich history of hip-hop in Chicago, the rich history of hip-hop in Philadelphia and everywhere else. There's always rich history of hip-hop. In every city that you're going to find young black people, you're going to find a rich history of hip-hop, you know. And if we don't pass it on, 50 years from now, 60 years from now, you hear somebody say, oh yeah, hip-hop is this right here. and you're like, wait a second, but I thought, you know, what happened to Kool Herc and this and that and boom, and I'm telling you, it'll just go away.
And wrapping things up, we're talking with legendary CHUBB Rock. You gave a message too about hip-hop on the positive side. Chubb, you said, hey, did y'all hear me call our sisters out of their name, use the B word? Did you hear me call our brothers the N-word? Talk about that and how that's always been who CHUBB Rock is.
Well, you know, I always wanted to make music that my mother would be proud of. But then I had good people around me, my brother Doug, and my brother Ez, and my brother Jamie in heaven, and my brothers Dave and Ian and Malcolm and Martin. We have a rich, just a rich friendship of people, of men that shaped me and had great influence with me. My brother Michael Burgess, Gene Petrus. We had great friends, Kirk Pone, and we just never needed to do all of that. We were more comedians and bugging out and having fun. We didn't really get involved with that kind of stuff. And and on the music side, we had Heavy D to look up to, who came in the game before me, and I was just watching him. UTFO, that never needed to curse. Fat Boys, that never needed to curse. Houdini, that never needed to curse. These are the people that we looked up to. So we just never thought it warranted any of that kind of stuff, And you fast forward all these years, and that's what people love. I mean, for whatever the reason, 45 and 50-year-old women, they don't want to hear all of that, and I'm just glad we never had to do it. We never had to do it, so that's how I look at it.
All right, Chubb, and wrapping things up, just want to ask you this. When you look at, a great career like yours, 3 decades, what's been the key? What's been the thing that has allowed CHUBB Rock to have the success that you've had as a performer?
No, it's the same thing, my mom and, my dad and my sister and my brother, and all my brothers actually, family. We just we just come from a great family, and and people. The kindness of people. Nothing happens without the kindness of people. People like you that took risks in the city to, radio and all these places. They didn't want to play hip hop. They didn't want to play hip hop. It's people like you that took the risk. There's a documentary. I did the voice work of it. I'm gonna have to get them to reach out to you. Okay. And it's called The Jocks That Started Hip Hop. Oh, wow. Charlie Mack is doing it. Okay. And it talks about all the jocks in all the cities that had to take a risk to play hip hop. They didn't want us to play hip hop on the radio, and it's, without them, where would we be, So that they brought it to the people, When I seen Cut, who I love, when I first started doing radio, yes, it was Cut that used to give me like advice and stuff like that, and he says, "Chubb, this is the man right here." That's how we do as brothers. We pass the baton. You know what I'm saying? Because it's important, that we know that we're not in this on our own. There's all these intricate parts. Some of them you don't even see. Yes, they're in the back making things happen. And, I just appreciate you and all you've done for hip hop and the culture. And we're just here hoping that we can go another 50 years, man. And and hopefully these young kids will kind of get back on track. And I love them. I just want them to live. I want them to see the world and do things in their community without the violence and stuff. So, hey, I don't judge them. Criticism without direction is just criticism. So just, we're going to keep praying.
Well, I just want to tell you, you blessed us. I remember doing an interview with you, Treat 'em Right, just the two of us, you coming to our station, doing drops for me. Believe me, you blessed us.
In the great days, the good old days. Yes, sir. The good old days. Kev, we old now, Kev.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Yes, but we here because they told us the life expectancy of a black man back in the day when we was growing up during the crack era was, 19? Yeah. So we here. We here. We defied it. So, hey, man, we just keep pushing on and, big shout to all of you.
Yes, sir. Well, again, if the fans that want to keep up and follow Chubb Rock, how can they do it?
Chubb Live, CHUBBLIVE on Instagram, and the Chubb Rock Show on Facebook. Follow me and I'll follow you back.
All right. Again, y'all, it's an honor. Chubb Rock in St. Louis, and he's celebrating 50 years of hip-hop, man. Happy birthday, hip-hop, St. Louis hip-hop. That's Chubb Rock, and big shout-out to him, and thanks again for being part of that 50 years of celebration of hip-hop. All right, big thanks again. Another shout-out to Cool Odie for being in the house with us. Cool Old, man, that was awesome. And finally, one shout-out, a couple of real quick ones, too, to Jerron Sutton. They got the big boxing match, and Jerron. Odie told me to get that in there, all right? KevyKev, talk to you next time on the Community Corner.